Check, check, 1, 2. Sorry about that. Yes. Today we'll be doing something different. Welcome. Today we'll be doing something different. It will be a question and answer. And the question and answer does not mean that we have all the answers. We don't know everything. We are just awakening, as many people are. Let me see, the internet is, let me see, hope it stays up. Yes. We're just awakening as many people are, so we just share as we are given. So we will. The internet is up and down. Yes, you can move in, please. Yeah. If we can answer, we will. There will be some questions that might require too much answers. So we might start to give you the answer, and maybe there's a high likelihood that we might have looked at it in a teaching before. If so, we will also refer you to the teaching, but to just give a brief breakdown. Because if we are to give each person in an in-depth breakdown, it would take too long, take too much time. Okay? So please leave your questions in the Facebook chat. And yeah. Shabbat Shalom. Please leave your questions in the YouTube chat. And if you want to speak with us live, you may do so through Facebook Messenger. And I have placed the link in the YouTube chat. It is a pinned link. Just check the link and you may call in live on Facebook Messenger. Okay? So from time to time, we get questions regarding whatever we teach. And I think this will be a good time for those questions to be answered. All right? And the first question is, how do we know who is our brother and sister in the faith? Some scriptures says have no fellowship with workers of iniquity. Well, that's a very tricky question because we are called to love even our enemies. So the true meaning of the question, the true meaning is somebody asked, where are you located in South Africa? Anyway, yeah. How do you know who is our brother and sister in the faith? Well, the true faith that we follow is we follow the way. And the way, of course, is Acts 24:14. Acts 24:14. But this I confess unto thee. Go ahead, George. I forgot.
But this I confess unto thee, that after the way which they call heresy, so worship I the allure of my fathers, believing all things which are written in the law and in the prophets, and have hope toward allure, which they themselves also allow, that there shall be a resurrection of the dead, both of the just and unjust.
So our belief is rooted in believing all things which are written in the law and in the prophets, but also in the faith or the emunah of Yahusha HaMashiach. So we obey all that is written in the law and in the prophets, and we follow after Hamashiach. But here is the difference now between the true believers, who you would say are our brothers and sisters. It is the word, the way. The way. If you look at the meaning of the way, it means, it's from the Greek word hodos, which means a road, by implication, a progress. The route, act, or distance, figuratively a mode or means. And here's the word, journey, highway. The difference between the true believers, and other people who would be the unfruitful works of in the unfruitful works of darkness is religion. We do not walk after a religion. We follow a way, which is a journey which is a path that is very unpredictable, in which we are led by the Ruach into where we know not where we are going. Religion tells you to go somewhere in a building, you follow a religion, you do certain things, and that brings you into the kingdom. That's not the way. The way is you're going to be led in different pathways. It is a lifestyle, it is a way of life. So our brothers and sisters will, true brothers and sisters will be those in the faith, will be those who are followers of the way. The religious people, they will go and they will follow a religion that tells them to do a particular thing. And they will stick to those particular things. And so they will not be able to be truly led by the Ruach. Huh? Matthew 12, 46 to 50. Read it, please.
While he yet talked to the people, behold, his mother and his brethren stood without, desiring to speak with him. Then one said unto him, Behold, thy mother and thy brethren stand without, desiring to speak with thee. But he answered and said unto him that told him, Who is my mother, and who are my brethren? And he stretched forth his hand toward his disciples, and said, Behold, my mother and my brethren. For whosoever shall do the will of my Father which is in heaven, the same is my brother and sister and mother.
Okay, so that's it. Those who will do the will of my Father. That is, those who are led by the Ruach of Yahuwah. Romans 8:14. It's on the screen.
For as many as are led by the Ruach of Allure, they are the sons of Allure.
So it's speaking about those who are led by the Ruach, not those who are led by a religion or necessarily led by a pastor. It is led by the Ruach. All right? But of course, we are called to love one another and to love everyone. All right? All right, so the other question was, where are you located? In South Africa. We are located in South Africa. That's it. Yeah, remember I said at the beginning, we will not be able to answer all questions. Huh? Okay. All right, let me finish this one and then we'll take that. Yeah. So we cannot answer every question. We cannot tell everyone where we are. That would make no sense whatsoever. Okay? Or we believe that the Most High told us to flee out of the midst of Babylon. And so he told us to go to a particular location. And so we go there to openly reveal that location. That doesn't make any sense at all. At all. All right. All right. So the first question, Al Shaddai. Yeah. Yeah. Number four. All right. We have a question, internal question coming in.
I think it's from his Christian friends who wants some more clarity about the way.
Yeah.
The first question is, why does the Father call JC God in Hebrews 1:8?
That's a tough one. Why does he call Allure Yahusha in Hebrews 1:8? Let's go there. Hebrews 1:8. Hebrews 1:8. Read it, please.
But unto the Son he saith, Thy throne, O Allure, is for ever and ever. A scepter of righteousness is the scepter of thy kingdom.
All right, so let's go to the meaning of allure. Theos, of uncertain affinity, a deity, especially with G3588, the supreme divinity, figuratively, a magistrate. By Hebraism, very exceeding allure, Godwardly. Now it says figuratively, a magistrate. There are several things to this, because when the writer is speaking here in Hebrews, he's speaking figuratively, because he's referring to the book of Psalms. Let's see if we can find it.
Psalms 82:6.
Thank you very much. Psalms 82:6. So he's speaking from Psalms 82:6.
I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High.
All right. So hear this now. He also referred to the children of Israel as gods. Now here's a trick in Hebrew. In Hebrews, they put the G-O-D and they put the big G. This is how they get us to believe that it means that Yahusha is Yahuwah. In Psalms 82:6, because it says more than one person's, ye are gods, then they put the little g. But in the Hebrews, they put the big G to let you believe. We also are Elohim. We are judges. We are magistrates. To the Most High, when we are in His righteousness, we are what? The sons of Allure. We just read in Romans 8:14. As many as are led by the Ruach of Allure, they are the sons of Allure. And if Allure is Elohim, therefore we also are Elohim. So when it speaks about in Hebrews 1:8, it does not mean that Yahusha is the Most High, but he is a Elohim. Just as those of us who are in righteousness are Elohim. Let's see what it says in the book of John. First John 3 verse 1 and 2.
Behold, what manner of love the Father hath bestowed upon us, that we should be called the sons of Allure. Therefore the world knoweth us not, because it knew him not.
All right. So Yahusha was called the son of Allure. Now we too are or have the power to be called the sons of Allure. Now if you are the sons of Allure, that means you are Allure. If you are the son of man, that means you are what? Man. The sons of Allure, you also are Allure. Verse 2.
Beloved, now are we the sons of Allure, and it doth not yet appear what we shall be. But we know that when he shall appear, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is.
Okay. So that's it. The meaning of Elohim, it means the mighty one, but it also means magistrates and judges. All right, we are judges, and that's why it says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. He covers our faces so we cannot see.
John 8:42 as well.
John 8:42. Yeah. Read it, please.
Yahusha said unto them, if Allure were your father, ye would love me, for I proceeded forth and came from Allure.
Mm-hmm.
Neither came I of myself, but he sent me.
All right. So we have two things here. We kill two birds with one stone with this verse. He proceeded forth and came from the Father, from Allure, which means he's saying that I am not Allure. I proceeded and came forth from him. And he said, here's the other part now, neither came I of myself, but he sent me. So he is not Allure, he's saying he proceeded from him. I was sent by him. So how can the Most High send himself? Right? That's it. That's it.
Acts 2:33.
Acts 2:33. Go ahead, please.
Therefore, being by the right hand of Allure exalted, and having received of the Father the promise of the Ruach HaKadosh, he hath shed forth this, which ye now see and hear.
All right. So, being by the right hand of Allure exalted, so the Most High exalted the Son. And the Son received of the Father the promise of Ruach HaKadosh. Yes? And he says, he has shed forth this which ye now see and hear. So because Yahuwah had given him the promise, he had now shed forth the promise unto us. So Yahusha is the what? The mediator of our covenant. So he received the promise of the Ruach and he shed forth the promise unto us. The Father gave it to him and he gave it unto us. Anything else?
I'm just saying, are you able to go into the relationship between the full measure of the Ruach that he received?
You don't want to go too far.
Oh,
Yeah. If you go too far, it might take up too much. Unless someone asks.
and the second question is, why does JC call himself the Alpha and Omega in Revelations 22:12-14?
Wow, we have an article on that on our website. Who is the Alpha and Omega? Can some?
I'll find the article and just put it in the comments.
Yeah, yeah. There's an article that went precept upon precept, breaking it down exactly the same question that you asked on justaword.org. He will find the link and put it in the chat. All right. Huh?
When has the Father called anyone?
How far are you? Because I see I missed. I see one about jubilees.
Jubilees?
Oh, you're in order.
It's in order, yeah.
Okay, go.
It's from the same person as well.
Yeah.
When has the Father called anyone God besides the Son? And what about John 5:58?
All right. When has he called him any God besides the Son? Psalms 82:6. Read Psalm 82:6, please.
I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High.
All right.
So,
Yeah. You need another mic over there. You use three. You use three and give him four. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. That would be better. Give, yeah.
Genesis 3:5.
Yeah. Genesis 3:5.
Starting from 4.
Genesis 3:4.
And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die. For Allure doth know that in the day that ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil.
So,
So if we're all the offspring of Adam and Hawa, in essence, because we know good and evil, we are referred to as gods. We are not the Almighty, but there is a reference that we are as gods,
Yeah.
likened unto gods, especially
Yeah.
the children of Yashua.
which means we're actually judges because we know good and evil, right and wrong. John 5:58. John 5:58. John 5:58. It's no John 5:58. There's no John 5:58. Huh? Oh, which one? Number 3.
My check went okay. How can I resolve jubilees? It says you cannot fast on the Shabbat.
Ah,
But Moses and Yahusha fasted for 40 days.
all right.
Is the Book of Jubilees scripture, even though there is this discrepancy?
All right. No, that's a good question. Okay, you see, when you undertake a vow to fast and the vow pass the Shabbat, then it is different from you fasting on the Shabbat, saying that I'm going to fast today. So if you say you're fasting for 2 weeks, the 2 weeks are going to span the Shabbat, no doubt. So what do? Now, the fast of the Testament of Abraham. I didn't. Yeah. Yes. Now, when the fasting of Abraham and Yahusha, they are not natural fast. They are not fast that a man undertakes and said, I am going to fast for 40 days. These are fasts that are led by the Ruach. And it is the Ruach that sustains them. If we as natural men try to fast without water and food for 40 days, what's going to happen to us? We will die. How many days do they say men can do without fasting? And yeah, 3 days without water. And about 7 days without food. How many are one? How much? 11 days without food. Yeah. I've heard about people fasting the 40 days and have died. So, yeah, they don't literally do it. So if you have to, if water for 3 days and food for 11 days, how can you naturally go out and say I'm fasting for 40 days? What happens is that the Ruach takes them and has them for 40 days, sustaining them. The power of the Most High sustains them. So they will be there with the Ruach itself. So it is a different fast from saying fasting on the Shabbat. Now, if I'm going to fast now, today I get up and says, today is a Shabbat, let me fast. I think that is what the book of Jubilees is speaking about. And let's look at it. What he's talking about in the book of Jubilee. It's chapter 50. It's in chapter 50, the last chapter. Yeah. Chapter 50, verse 12. Let me put it on the screen. All right. Can you read it, please?
And every man who does any work thereon, or goes a journey, or tills his farm, whether in his house or any other place, and whoever lights a fire, or rides on any beast, or travels by ship on the sea, and whoever strikes or kills anything, or slaughters a beast or a bird, or whoever catches an animal or a bird or a fish, or whoever fasts or makes war on the Shabbat.
Continue.
The man who does any of these things on the Shabbat shall die. So that the children of Yasharal shall observe the Shabbat according to the commandments regarding the Shabbats of the land, as it is written in the tablets, which he gave into my hands, that I should write out for you the laws of the seasons, and the seasons according to the divisions of their days. Herewith.
Yeah, continue.
You
All right,
should
it's
scroll
okay.
up a bit.
It's okay. All right, so here it is. You must not fast on the Shabbat. Now, the book of Jubilees the writer of Jubilees must have taken into account Moses fasting 40 days, Yahusha fasting 40 days. So there must be something about it. David fasted 7 days. There must be something about it. And what I see is to fast on the Shabbat day, targeting the Shabbat as a fast day. But if you had made a vow previously to go a week and it passes the Shabbat, then I don't know. And this is what I think. Don't take it to the bank. Prove all things, hold fast, which is good. Don't let it be said that I told you to fast on the Shabbat, because I still would be afraid to fast on the Shabbat. Really, yeah. Oh, number 4.
And it being a feast day, it kind of goes against just fast on it.
Yes.
It goes against kind of the ideology of a feast day in itself.
Mm.
But then there's also the Day of Atonement where you do fast from evening to evening.
Yeah.
So it's not anything new
Yeah.
to be said, you know.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I found a thing in Apocalypse of Abraham, if you want me to read it or you have it.
Go ahead. Oh yeah. So yeah, the Day of Atonement is on a Shabbat. Yes.
And you're fasting
And you're
from
fasting.
evening to evening. So
Yeah.
it's not nothing new.
Yes. So it's not anything that has never been done before. Yeah.
And then I think while he goes to Apocalypse of Abraham, if you go to
page
Luke 4:2,
Luke.
You got a page number?
it's 31 of 61, starting at XII.
Apocalypse of Abraham. Oh man, I'm sorry I don't have it here. Let me see if I can get it quickly. Apocalypse of Abraham.
Page 31 of 61, and then it says XII.
Page 31. Which 31? Okay.
61.
XII. Okay. All right, let me read it. And I rose up and saw him. That is it? That is it?
Yeah, but the one under. I don't know if you want to start from there. It's when
It's,
the Malak came up to Abraham after his fast.
Verse 12.
It's 12. X22. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. Start from 11.
And I rose up and saw him who had grasped me by my right hand and set me up upon my feet. And the appearance of his body was like sapphire.
Hold on. Let me get it. Let me shift it, please. Yes.
And the appearance of his body was like sapphire, and the look of his countenance like chrysolite, and the hair of his head like snow, and the turban upon his head like the appearance of the rainbow, and the clothing of his garments like purple, and a golden scepter was in his right hand. And he said to me, Abraham. And I said, Here am I, thy servant. And he said, Look not, let not my look affright thee, nor my speech, that thy soul be not perturbed. Come with me, and I will go with thee until the sacrifice visible, but after the sacrifice invisible forever. Be of good cheer and come. And we went, the two of us together, 40 days and nights, and I ate no bread and drank no water, because my food was to see the angel who was with me,
Mm-hmm. And his?
and his speech, that was my drink. And we came to the Mount of Allure, the magnificent Horeb. And I said to the angel, Singer of the Eternal One, Lo, I have no sacrifice with me, nor am I aware of a place of an altar on the mountain. How can I bring a sacrifice?
All right. So that is enough. So the point that we want to get, it is that it is a whole totally different fasting. The Ruach had Abraham, because Abraham did the 40 days and 40 nights as well. He says the speech of the angel was, what was it? His food was to see the angel who was with him, and his speech was Abraham's drink. So we see that it was being sustained by the Ruach for 40 days. It is not a fast that you go and say 40 days. So this is totally different. It is when the Ruach takes you away and separates you unto himself. So you're not really in this world. Yeah.
Luke 4, 1 to 2.
Luke 4, 1 to 2. How many questions? Yeah, I have many more questions there. All right, so we have to mark time. Luke 4, 1 to 2.
And Yahushua, being full of the Ruach HaKadosh, returned from Jordan and was led by the Ruach into the wilderness, being 40 days tempted by the devil.
Of the devil.
Tempted of the devil. And in those days he did eat nothing. And when they were ended, he afterward hungered.
No, this is between the accounts of Yahusha Moses and Elijah, none of them ate anything. There's anything that references to them eating. Even regarding David and many of the kings when they were fasting and mourning and lamenting for over 7 days or 7 days.
Yes.
There's no account of them eating, so they would have fasted through the Shabbat.
Yeah.
Is what it seems like.
Yes, yeah. That's what it appears. Okay? So we have to, kind of resolve in places like this. And the person was asking if Jubilees is scripture. I do believe so. The Book of Jubilees is sound, perfectly complementing the Bible. It is called Little Genesis. It plugs in the holes that are there in the Book of Genesis. And we have to understand the Bible itself, that the Bible is actually a collection of writings that they have put together. So Jubilees actually fills in the gaps. And you can test and try almost everything that is there in Jubilees, and we have found it to be solid and firm. All right. So not because you have that discrepancy, remember that there are in the Bible many discrepancies. So because you might see that little thing in Jubilees that look like, oh, it's saying something, you understand? You cannot throw it away or throw it off. All right. Yes. Yeah.
What does a woman do with the knowledge and wisdom she gains when she comes into the truth? My understanding is I'm not to do anything because I am to be silent.
No. The it is given in First Corinthians 11. Let's go to First Corinthians 11. First Corinthians 11. Verse 5.
But every woman that prayeth or prophesieth with her head uncovered dishonoureth her head, for that is even all one as if she were shaven.
Now, a woman praying or prophesying. What does the word prophesying mean? The word prophesying there is from the Greek word prophetio, which means to foretell events. This is the prophesying that most of us know. But it says divine, but it also means speak under inspiration. Exercise the prophetic office, prophesy. So a woman can speak under set apart inspiration, which means the Most High can give that woman something to speak on his behalf. So apart from foretelling events, a woman can speak to someone under the inspiration of the Most High in order to help that person spiritually. Now, the conflict with this is teaching. Teaching is different from prophesying. Speaking under inspiration is different from teaching. When you teach, you give instructions, break down scriptures and all of that. It is different from encouraging someone or speaking as you are led by the Most High. So a woman must not be quiet. A woman has her place. A woman is called to be a helpmeet, which is where teaching and prophesying comes in. When you have teaching, the men teach, but the woman being the helpmeet will prophesy, which means they will encourage people to listen to the teaching of men, or they will be inspired by the teaching of men through the Most High, and then they will prophesy and help others. So a woman's part is not to be kept quiet at all. How many times women, even here, women have gone out and spoken to people and getting people interested and bring them to us and we speak to them. That's happened several times. Yeah. Yeah. Number 4. Yeah.
So what about in Titus 2:3-4?
Yeah.
How do you reconcile that in
Titus 2.
3 going into 4?
All right.
The aged women likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness, not false accusers, not given to much wine, teachers of good things, that they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children.
All right. So, how do you? I don't understand.
How do you reconcile that? Because that also says they are teaching. So I think to somebody looking at it, they
Oh,
might be
okay, okay,
thinking,
okay. I get you now. I get you now. All right. So the teaching of women now, as we said, we spoke about teaching. We were speaking about breaking down scriptures. If you notice the teaching that the women do here, eh? If you notice the teaching that the women do here, look what they teach. The aged woman likewise, they may teach the young woman to be sober. Oh,
Just explain what it's saying,
yeah.
what they must do.
Yeah. So that they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their women, to love their children, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husband, that the word of Allure be not blasphemed. So that is what they would teach the younger women. But generally, the woman going out now, for example, one of our sisters go out and they see an opportunity to tell someone about the way. Are they not to say anything at all about the way? That person could have received the word through them. One of our brothers might not reach that person, but they might be in a conversation and the opportunity comes up to tell them about the way. What do the women do? Shut up. I must be quiet. No, that doesn't make any sense at all. At all.
and so basically, just because they teach these things, it doesn't necessarily make them a teacher.
Doesn't make them a teacher. Okay? But it is when you now take up the scriptures, start breaking it down, precept upon precept, matching up. That is what is not, they are not to do. Yeah. So it comes, and that is where the subjection comes in again. Subjection comes in with the scripture. The scripture is handed to the men. Okay? But inspiration will also be given to the women. All right. Go ahead.
What do I do? Sorry. What do I do when I don't have anyone in my life personally to share the words with?
Anybody here can answer that. Because that has been our experience. That has been the experience of all of us here. And we came together online. And when we came together online, the Most High told all of us that we should gather together. And He told us where together. And He put us together. So, like yours truly, I have been years on my own, worshiping with my 2 children, then worshiping with only one of them. When one got old and left, I ended up worshiping with only one, a little 11-year-old at the time, and worshiping with her from she was young coming up. And that was all I had until the Most High told us we are together, and that is how we have come together. So my answer to that would be to find somewhere together with people of like mind. Okay?
Question.
Yeah.
Yahuwah commanded us to eat no fat. Is this the fat surrounding the organs and even the fat between the muscle fibers?
Yay! What a question. What a coincidental question. The fat surrounding the. Let's go there. Where is it again? Where is it? Any of you remember? Leviticus 7:23. Leviticus 7:23. Start from 22.
And Yahuwah spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Yasharal, saying, Ye shall eat no manner of fat of ox, or of sheep, or of goat.
All right. So that word, that no manner there, no manner, it is the Hebrew word lo, a primitive participle, not the simple, by implication, no, not often used with other particles before, except, ignorant, much less, nay, neither, never, never, thing, surely, truly, of a truth, verily. So it is actually saying none, no fat whatsoever. As far as no, it is no fat whatsoever, as far as I see. Let's continue and see.
Verse 24. And the fat of the beast that dieth of itself, and the fat of that which is torn with beasts, may be used in any other use, but ye shall in no wise eat of it. For whosoever eateth the fat of the beast, of which men offer an offering made by fire unto Yahuwah, even the soul that eateth it shall be cut off from his people.
All right, so here's where the question. It says, for whosoever eateth the fat of the beast, of which men offer an offering made by fire unto Yahuwah, even the soul that eateth it shall be cut off from his people. Is it saying that the fat of the beast that you use for a sacrifice, you must not eat the fat? Or is it saying that any beast that you offer a sacrifice for, no fat of that beast must be eaten? That is the question. Because, so let's go and see if we get something a little further. Let's see if we get something further about fat. Trying to find if I can get something that can resolve that. So the fat of the sin offerings. I'm scrolling through here to find out. Eat fat, eat fat. Leviticus 3:17. Leviticus 3:17. Read, please.
It shall be a perpetual statute for your generations throughout all your dwellings, that ye eat neither fat nor blood.
That you eat neither fat nor blood. So here it is appearing that it is a blanket thing about fat. Neither fat nor blood. Yeah? So, good, thanks. Exodus 29:13. Let's see how we resolve that.
And thou shalt take all the fat that covereth the inwards, and the caul that is above the liver, and the two kidneys, and the fat that is upon them, and burn them upon the altar.
Okay, I never wanted to look at this because it is talking about the sacrifice. I wanted to see if there was anything outside of the sacrifice where it says eat no fat. So that's why I went to Leviticus 3:17. Huh? Yeah, so that would be a sacrifice. Huh? Yeah. No, what I'm saying is, I didn't want to look at to burn it because that would mean a sacrifice. But what I want to find out is there anywhere outside of a sacrifice that we can eat fat? So that's why I avoided the sacrifice. We know already that it has to be burnt in the sacrifice. But is there any permission for us to eat it outside of the sacrifice? And Leviticus 3:17 seems to cancel that out when it says it shall be a perpetual statute for your generations throughout all your dwellings that you eat neither fat nor blood. Boy, a lot of the food that we eat, we have fat on it, don't we? We have to be very careful while we're eating. Eat neither fat and the blood. Oh, number 3.
Explain Proverbs 8, verse 22 to 36.
If we can, we will explain it. Proverbs 8, verse 22
to 36.
Oh, that's a long. All right, this was speaking about wisdom. Wisdom is actually speaking here. Go ahead, George.
Yahuwah possessed me in the beginning of his way, before his works of old.
So wisdom was with the Most High before he created the heavens and the earth. Verse 23.
I was set up from everlasting, from the beginning, or ever the earth was.
Mm-hmm.
When there were no depths, I was brought forth. When there were no fountains abounding with water. Before the mountains were settled, before the hills was I brought forth. While as yet he had not made the earth, nor the fields, nor the highest part of the dust of the world. When he prepared the heavens, I was there. When he set a compass upon the face of the depth. When he established the clouds above. When he strengthened the fountains of the deep. When he gave to the sea his decree, that the waters should not pass his commandment. When he appointed the foundations of the earth. Then I was by him, as one brought up with him, and I was daily his delight, rejoicing always before him.
You can continue.
Rejoicing in the habitable part of his earth, and my delights were with the sons of men.
Mm-hmm.
Now therefore hearken unto me, O ye children, for blessed are they that keep my ways.
So wisdom was before the foundation of the earth, and that makes sense because it requires, look at the creation out there. How much wisdom it requires to put this together. Whole lot of wisdom. So wisdom had to be there before the beginning of time. But wisdom's delight is with the sons of men. So wisdom is here now, seeking which man she can make her home with. That is wisdom's desire, to make her home with the sons of men. Verse 32.
Hear instruction and be wise, and refuse it not. Blessed is the man that heareth me, watching daily at my gates, waiting at the posts of my doors. For whoso findeth me findeth life, and shall obtain favor of Yahuwah. But he that sinneth against me wrongeth his own soul. All they that hate me love death.
All right, so wisdom's charge is to dwell with the sons of men. And wisdom is so zealous to be with men, to enlighten men, to fill men with her wisdom so that men can find life. Without wisdom, we cannot find eternal life. The fear of Allure is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding of all the that do his commandments. The same one was on your mind. Yeah. So wisdom is essential for eternal life. Now, wisdom wants to be with us so that we can be saved. But if we reject wisdom, then we have chosen death, because wisdom is the way to life. I don't know if that is what the person is looking for. I don't know. But that is what I get. He that sinneth against me wrongeth his own soul. All they that hate me love death. And we have so many people who hate wisdom because so many people who hate wisdom. When you come to people with wisdom, they reject it flat out. Many people, they don't want to hear what you have to say. I'm okay. I am good. They don't want to hear anything. When you tell them about that we have been lied to, they have no desire for truth, no desire for wisdom. And so, as he said, all they that hate me love death. Next question.
In First Samuel 28, did King Saul really speak to the prophet Shamuel? Or was it a familiar ruach?
First Samuel, that was a tough one. And I looked at that one already. Didn't we look at that? First Samuel 28. I remember this one. All right, let's read it. When he spoke, woman with a familiar ruach. First Samuel 28:27. First thing we look is 28 verse 7. The first thing we look at the meaning of familiar ruach. Familiar ruach is ob from the same as H1, apparently through the idea of prattling a father's name, properly a mumble, that is a water skin from his hollow sound, hence a necromancer, as from a jar, bottle, familiar spirit. What is a necromancer? Someone who speaks to the dead. That's why I want to go to the meaning, because if a necromancer is someone who speaks to the dead. All right, let me get the meaning from this thing here. Necromancer. Yeah, necromancer. One who practices magic or sorcery. One who practices divination by conjuring up the dead. By conjuring up the dead. Now, the judgment for this is death. So the question is, if this person could not conjure up the ruach, why is the Most High's penalty death? If something does not work, why would he give it a death penalty? Just as witchcraft, he says, you shall not do what? Suffer a witch to live. Many people say they do not believe in witchcraft. No, witchcraft works because it is from the dark side, from the spirit of the devils. So, let's go from verse 7, 1 Samuel 28.
Then said Saul unto his servants, Seek me a woman that hath a familiar ruach, that I may go to her and inquire of her. And his servants said to him, Behold, there is a woman that hath a familiar ruach at Endor. And Saul disguised himself.
All right. Why if what she did not work, how could they say, oh, Endor, there's a woman in Endor who does it? That means it's not something that is regular. Only certain people have the gift. Continue, verse 8.
And Saul disguised himself and put on other raiment, and he went, and 2 men with him. And they came to the woman by night, and he said, I pray thee, divine unto me by the familiar ruach, and bring me him up, whom I shall name unto thee.
All right, so what will she use to bring up the ruach? He says what? Divine unto me. So let's go to Deuteronomy 18:10.
There shall not be found among you any one that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or that useth divination, or an observer of times, or an enchanter, or a witch,
Continue.
or a charmer, or a consulter with familiar ruach, or a wizard, or a necromancer.
All right. Verse 12.
For all that do these things are an abomination unto Yahuwah. And because of these abominations, Yahuwah thy allure doth drive them out from before thee.
So why would Yahuwah be so harsh on this if it did not work? Let's go back. First Samuel. So we have, she used divination. He used necromancing. And she uses familiar. She consults with a familiar ruach. So let's go backwards. First Samuel, we were at what? Verse 8, yes.
28.
First Samuel 28, verse 8.
Want me to read that again?
Yeah, read verse 8, yeah.
And Saul disguised himself, put on other raiment, and he went, and 2 men with him. And they came to the woman by night. And he said, I pray thee, divine unto me the familiar ruach, and bring me him up, whom I shall name unto thee.
Mm-hmm.
And the woman said unto him, Behold, thou knowest what Saul hath done, how he hath cut off those that have familiar ruach, and the wizards out of the land. Wherefore then layest thou a snare for my life to cause me to die? And Saul sware to her by Yahuwah, saying, As Yahuwah liveth, there shall no punishment happen to thee for this thing. Then said the woman, Whom shall I bring up unto thee? And he said, Bring me up Samuel. And when the woman saw Samuel, she cried with a loud voice, and the woman spake to Saul, saying, Why hast thou deceived me? For thou art Saul.
All right. So these dark arts, they actually do work. Okay? It says, when the woman saw Samuel. Continue verse 13.
And the king said unto her, Be not afraid, for what sawest thou? And the woman said unto Saul, I saw gods ascending out of the earth. And he said unto her, What form is he of? And she said, An old man cometh up, and he is covered with a mantle. And Saul perceived that it was Samuel, and he stooped with his face to the ground and bowed himself.
Mm-hmm.
And Samuel said to Saul, Why hast thou disquieted me to bring me up?
Mm.
And Saul answered, I am sore distressed, for the Philistines make war against me, and Allure is departed from me, and answereth me no more, neither by prophets nor by dreams. Therefore I have called thee, that thou mayest make known unto me what I shall do. Then said Samuel, Wherefore then dost thou ask of me, seeing Yahuwah is departed from thee, and is become thine enemy? And Yahuwah hath done to him as he spake by me. For Yahuwah hath rent the kingdom out of thine hand, and given it to thy neighbor, even to David.
All right. So Saul, Samuel was there speaking with him. All right. These are the dark arts of necromancing, divination, and consulting with familiar ruach. Yeah. Oh.
Maybe in the western side of the world, it's not as prevalent because you don't see it everywhere. But on this side of the world, it's very common in ancestral worship.
Yes.
It's what people do a lot more. Even it's almost paralleling Christianity at times.
Yes.
So it might be foreign on the western side of the world.
Yes.
And done under the table, but here,
yes,
it's prevalent.
Here it is plain. Because we even witnessed it in action. One of our baptisms, we went and we saw it plain as day. And it was nothing to the people this side, but to us it was actually very shocking to see. Yeah. But it is commonplace here. Commonplace. Right? Right, Benzi? Huh? Oh, what's shocking to you? Yeah? Hey, put him on, let me talk. Let me speak about it. Yeah.
It was for the first time
Yes.
I saw it. Really.
Yes? Oh. So it is that place then that you can go and see it. Because if you go that place, almost every day they come there and do their thing.
We won't go there.
You won't go there.
So, but you already knew about it, those practices in this country. You were aware of that, but you just never seen it before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. if it was really Shamuel, it was the Ruach of Shamuel. I don't know how to say it was his Ruach, but somehow they brought him up, the similitude of him or something. But they brought him up somehow. And that is why the Most High says it's an abomination. He didn't? No. No. Because Shamuel, it wasn't Shamuel's fault. Yeah. Where was it? Hebrews 12:9. Yes?
Furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh which corrected us, and we gave them reverence. Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of Ruachoth and live?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yep. Divine, yeah.
Here in Hebrews 12:9, it calls the Most High the Father of Ruachoth.
Yes.
Not just the good Ruachoth, but also the bad.
Bad.
So nothing happens without his jurisdiction.
Yes.
So clearly that was allowed to happen
Yeah.
for the sake of Saul being told what to do. In other
Exactly.
cases, who knows? It might actually be a familiar spirit. It might actually be that person.
Yeah.
You would have to probably ask a person who's done it before. Because I've heard of, on the other hand, people have said that it's not really the person, it's a familiar spirit. So I understand where the question is coming from.
Yeah, yeah.
But in that case, I don't know, did Yahuwah allow Shaul's Ruachoth to come just to convict Saul of the
Saul.
wrong that he's done?
Yeah.
Because even Saul saw him and he's like, wow, it's really you.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right. And the Most High will allow that to happen as well to damn us, because it is a sin to bring them up. And if we are determined to try to bring them up, He might just let something happen so that we be damned. Because remember, He allows us to walk in our own counsels if we don't want to hear His truth. All right. We finish all of the questions? Oh.
Okay. I
Yeah.
have two questions here.
Yeah.
The first one, which number of the seal are we at this time?
Oh. Well, we know Revelation 6, verse 1. All right, we know that the first one has already been opened, the crown. I can't even call the name. C to the O to the R to the A, and you know the rest of it. That is the first seal, the crown. And the next crown is the red horse, which is war. And then after war, we have the black horse, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny. We know that is financial collapse. Now, I believe you're right in between this 1 and 2 and 3. I think 2 and 3 will be coming rapidly. Like, I think the war will be used to precipitate the collapse of the economies of this world, because they are setting up their artificial intelligence controlled digital currency system worldwide. And to do so, they have to topple the current financial system. So I believe the red horse and the black horse will work in tandem and will collapse the economies, and then they will set up their new currency system. Now, we have the rise now of BRICS. I don't know if everyone is watching BRICS. BRICS. What do you use BRICS to do? To build. I believe the New World Order is being built on BRICS. So what have they done now? This August, I think it's August, BRICS is proposing a new currency. And I think 24 countries already have come online that they want to partake in that currency. I believe the BRICS currency is probably going to be the New World Order currency. I believe the New World Order is being built on BRICS. So that is the alternative order. The other day, it was declared that the BRICS countries have surpassed the NATO countries in GDP, total GDP. So they now have more GDP than NATO, and they are growing. Almost every other day you hear a new nation has signed up to BRICS. And they are not adding any letters to the BRICS, even though they're adding countries. So when the countries are added and they take up this new currency, what do you think is going to happen? Remember, the US currency is the world reserve currency. And that is what they use to purchase oil, which is the backbone of the economy of the world. When oil goes up, everything changes. Oil goes down, everything changes. So when all of those currencies shift to the BRICS currency, then US currency is going to be abandoned and the world economy is going to collapse because most of the world is based on the US currency as their reserve. So I believe we're in that little thing, and the war that is going on, it seems to be never ending. And I believe we're in between 2 and 3. Between 1, 2, and 3. We're just right in that mix, waiting for something to explode. Anything else?
Yeah. I want to ask. I want to understand.
Yes.
The question, but I want to, as we have sisters here, ne,
Yeah.
and we are asking questions right now,
Yeah.
they are not allowed to ask questions.
Yeah, yes, it is very, it's a very sticky thing, but I think questions can be answered because they're actually not, what should I say? I think if they have a question, I don't know. I'm afraid to trump the Most High. Very, very afraid. But I think if they're asking a question, they can ask a question. Because I'm sure that some of the questions that come or from there have come from women who are asking questions. Yeah, or they can write it on a paper and give it to the men. The questions will still be asked. Yeah. So that in that way we can be safe both ways. I'm very fearful of the Most High to transgress his order.
Yeah. Here's another question. Which tribe or Judah do we belong?
Which tribe?
Actually, I think this question was supposed to be in this way. Which tribe we belong in Yasharel? I guess there are 12 tribes of Yasharel.
Yes.
As which one do we belong to?
Okay, all right. Now, the people over in the western side of the world or who have been scattered through slavery, it is easier for them to narrow down to probably about 4 tribes. 3, 4, 5 tribes. We know that the house of Judah that went into captivity was comprised of the tribes of Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. In the book of the Testament of the Patriarchs, it is said, and I don't think most people out there will know that. So let's go into the Testament of Dan. Let's go into the Testament of Dan. Because many people ask, where are the children of Dan? Testament of the 12. Dan is how many again? You have Zebulun. Dan is number what? Number 5? No, Issachar. Then Zebulun. Where is Dan in the order? Those people were. Oh, yeah. All right. So we have the Testament of Dan here. Now, in the Testament of Dan, Dan will be telling his people telling us where his children will be. We are in the Testament of Dan that you can download from our website. On the downloads page, justaword.org/downloads. And I guess all the books that we use here are there on our website. All right. 5:7. Let me go. Testament of the 12 Patriarchs. 5:7.
My sons will draw close to Levi, will participate with them in all manner of sins, and with the sons of Judah they will share in greed like lions snatching what belongs to others.
Continue.
Accordingly, you will be led off with them into captivity. There you will receive all the plagues of Egypt and all the evils of the Gentiles or heathen.
All right, so there we go. Many people don't know this because they don't believe in these books or don't follow these books. The children of Dan are also with the children of Levi in captivity over in the western side of the world. So many people don't know that Dan is also among our people over there. So the point being, and Simeon also drew close to Levi, I think. Simeon drew close to. There will be remnants of the other tribe with our people, but in large and in part, those of us who have been sent into captivity, especially like us who come from over the west, we know that we are most likely Judah, Benjamin, or Levi. And also Dan will be there sprinkled among us. But for the rest of the world, it is difficult, especially going here now in South Africa. Because the children of Yasharal went into captivity. The house of Israel, the northern kingdom, the other 10 tribes went into captivity from 723 or 22 BC. It's a long, long time ago. And so they are called the lost tribes of Yasharal because our people, they don't know who they are or where they are. They have been scattered all over. Did some remain in this land? I believe so. Some remained in this land. But also our people were snatched from here. So did our people remain here? I believe some of our people remained here. But to know who is who, you cannot know who is who by how you look or whatever. It has to be the Most High who will tell us in the end. There's no way you can tell. The Ruach beareth witness with our Ruach that we are the sons of Allure. So our Ruach can be a witness to us that we are the children of Yasharal. But as to the tribe, that will be left to the end when the Most High will tell us. Because the inheritance in the kingdom is going to be according to tribe. The kingdom is going to be segmented according to tribe by tribe, where each tribe is going to be together. So that is when we'll know, I guess. Unless inspiration is given otherwise. Yes, go ahead. No.
Is someone who is not from the nation of Yasharal, but keeps Torah and follows Yahusha considered a stranger?
Yeah, in the end, in Daniel, in the book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 14. Read it, please.
And there was given him dominion and splendor and a kingdom, that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion, which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed.
No. That's not the one that I'm looking for. It's verse 27. Sorry about that. Verse 27.
And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him.
So the kingdom shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High. And we know Psalm 148 verse 14 tells us who the saints are. Psalms 148 verse 14, I think, tells us who the saints are. Read it, please.
He also exalteth the horn of his people, the praise of all his saints, even of the children of Yasharal, a people near unto him. Praise ye Yahuwah.
So this is why the kingdom is given to Yasharal, is that there are people who are near unto him. The praise of all his saints, and all his saints are even of the children of Yasharal. And if you go back now and look in Daniel 7:27 and look at the meaning of people, you'll see the word for people there. It's the word would mean people. I think where did I get this? I would have to dig into the different meanings to get them. But the word people there means the people of the saints, which means the family of Yasharal. And this is backed up by Isaiah 14, 1-2, which tells us what will happen when the children of Yasharal are returning into the kingdom. Isaiah 14, 1-2.
For Yahuwah will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Yasharal.
All right. So he will have mercy on a family and will yet choose this nation, the nation of Yasharal. So a stranger who keeps Torah and all of that, you're not of the family. Right now, family does not get you into the kingdom. But when you get into the kingdom, that is when family is going to make a difference. Because you can be Yasharal till you are blue. If you don't end up in righteousness, then you cannot enter the kingdom. But when you enter into the kingdom, the Most High now is an order, it's an allure of order. And because he made the promises to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, he has to fulfill those promises. And so the order is going to be this nation, this family will be ruling the kingdom. Read 14:1 onwards, please.
For Yahuwah will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Yasharal, and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
So that's it. The strangers. And the word for strangers there, it is the good strangers. I think it is a ger. H1616, the ger, properly a guest, by implication of foreigner, alien, sojourner, stranger. So the strangers who keep Torah, they are guests, they are sojourners with his people. All right? They will be joined with his people, but they are not his people. They were not the recipients of the promises to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, which is why Shaul said this in Romans 9. Lest we think that we are just living in the Old Testament. Shaul said this in Romans 9, starting at verse 3.
For I could wish that myself were accursed from Hamashiach for my brethren, my kinsmen according to the flesh, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption, and the splendor, and the covenants, and the giving of the law, and the service of Allure, and the promises.
And the promises. So when we go into the kingdom, that is when the promises now, the Most High is going to realize his promises that he made to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob to give them the kingdom. All right, so the strangers will be joined with them. So what was the question again, the last part of it?
Is someone who is not from the nation of Yasharal, but keep Torah and follow Yahushua considered a stranger?
Oh, yes, yes. They are considered the good stranger, the ger. Those who are guests, those who are sojourners, those who join themselves unto Yasharal. But there is a demarcation. Yeah.
Could you please explain Jeremiah 31, verse 22?
Jeremiah 31:22. Hey, Jeremiah is hard. Why are you giving those hard things? Jeremiah 31. Verse what? Remember this? This was asked the other day. Jeremiah 31:22.
How long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter?
Mm.
For Yahuwah hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man.
A woman shall compass a man. Let's look at the meaning of compass. Wow, what a whole lot of meanings. A primitive root, sabab, to revolve, surround, or border, used in various applications, bring, cast, fetch, lead, make, walk, whirl, roundabout, be about on every side, apply, avoid, beset, besiege, bring again. I believe that this speaks to what is happening in the world today. A world where women are given the upper hand over the men. A world in which women are vice presidents and presidents. Women are CEOs of companies. Women lead in almost everything. Women are taught that they are equal, and women are even given privileges to be above the men. If we go to the United States, the laws of the United States, we hear that United States is a woman country because the laws are skewed towards the woman. If two people have a dispute, a man and a woman, and the police comes in, then the man is wrong to begin with. He will have to prove that he is right. It is a woman's world. And I believe that this is what it's speaking about. Yeah, the word man. But today we have sissy men all over. I think this month they are declared as Pride Month, and you see all of the sissy girl men came out, and now they feel as if they are greater than anyone else. At least they have more power than anyone else, because if they hear us speaking these things, they will come out and hit out and say, "Yeah." Sometimes they just can't care. As long as they're not gonna take on the channel, I don't care what comes. Huh? Huh? They. Oh, yes, yes, yes. They are really serious about this thing. Ah, what a world.
Is it finished?
Yeah.
Is it unlawful for a woman to speak to her husband about his wrongdoings? Is this considered ruling over him?
No, sir. A woman is a helpmeet. So if I am doing something wrong, my wife will help me by telling me that it is wrong. But it is how she does it. If she does it in a condescending manner, then it is wrong. Like she's speaking with a child or everything, but she has to do it respectfully. Because there are ways to tell people that they are wrong respectfully rather than condescendingly. Yeah.
Could you please explain for me Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1?
Isaiah 4, verse 1. I will if I can. All right. Oh, Isaiah 4, verse 1. All right. Isaiah 4 verse 1 is better explained going into Isaiah 3. It's a continuation from Isaiah 3. So if you go to the end of Isaiah 3 actually tells you about the woman of Yasharal in the end time. And it is a woman that we have today. The women who are fancy and, whole lot of makeup, whole lot of jewelry, whole lot of pomp and pride and walking with stiff necks. The Most High is actually telling you that he will destroy their husbands. Yeah, I want a safe one. So he's going to smite the woman, first of all. And he told you they are going from about verse 16 to about 24. But in 25, he tells you what he will do with their husbands. Verse 25.
Thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty in the war. And her gates shall lament and mourn, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground.
All right. So the men shall die by the sword. That means there'll be a whole lot of Israelite women without men. Therefore, we go to chapter 4 now. Verse 1.
And in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, We will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name, to take away our reproach.
So here is the reproach now. Their husbands did not have them under subjection to take them out of their vanity and their pride. So that is why the Most High allowed the men to be killed in a war. But they need a man, a husband, in order for them to take, for their reproach to be taken away. So there will be the righteous men who are left. And that is why the 7 women, desperately wanting their reproach to be taken away, will hold on to one man and says, let me be called by your name. I don't need anything from you. I don't need any food. I don't need any clothing. And just let me be called by your name, because that will take away my reproach. And that is the covering of the man over the woman, which makes the woman be what you call it now? Puts the woman in safety, having the coverage of a righteous man over her. And that is why we were saying the other day that a woman's role is easy, because all a woman needs to do is to be in subjection, in righteousness under her husband, and she is good. Yes.
I want to know, is it lawful to marry 7 wives?
Is it?
To marry 7 wives as a man?
Is it lawful?
Yeah, lawful.
All right, it is lawful, but it is not expedient. You get me? It is lawful. As Shaul told us this in the book of, let me get it. 1 Corinthians 6 verse 12.
All things are lawful unto me, but all things are not expedient. All things are lawful for me, but I will not be brought under the power of any.
So in our covenant, Hamashiach said in Matthew 16:24. Matthew 16:24. Hamashiach said this.
Then said Yahushua unto his disciples, If any man will come after me, let him deny himself, and take up his stake and follow me.
All right? So Hamashiach called us to deny self. How can I be denying myself with 7 wives? Yeah, that's just not possible. And we know about the battle of the flesh. The flesh lusteth against the ruach, and the ruach against the flesh. How can I keep my flesh under subjection if by the time I sit and say, hi, George, there is a woman over there coming? Then by the time I finish with that one and I see Yazzie over there and say, hey, Yazzie, what's going on? I see another one. It's not possible. It's just not possible to keep your flesh under subjection under that. Not that they didn't deny themselves, but no, in our covenant, it's a spiritual covenant. It was okay for them to do that. But in our covenant, we are called to be supermen. And being supermen, we cannot do it in the flesh. And I know those of us who are here have seen how difficult it is. Even yesterday we were saying, boy, righteousness is not easy. I was saying it in a conversation with someone. I said, boy, righteousness, hard. Yes? Much as if I had someone here badgering, several people here badgering my flesh. It's not expedient. Therefore, what happens, the Most High is going to keep this to the end, where one woman will hold on to 7 men. That time, the 7 men will have already been perfected. No, with what? No, sorry. The other way around. 7 women with 1 man. the man would already have been perfected. Yeah. Why the hell should I run? Hey, sir. All right. Maybe I slip between the cup and the lip. All right. All right, hold on. That answer? Yeah. Go ahead.
We are not to draw water from. We are not to draw water on the Shabbat. Does this include flushing the toilet and washing our hands?
All right. Here's what we see. The command with the Shabbat has to do with work. Shabbat. Leviticus 23:23.
And Yahuwah spake unto Moses,
No,
saying,
23:23. No, 23:3. Sorry, my bad. Sorry. Go ahead.
6 days shall be done, but the seventh day is the Shabbat of rest. 6 days shall work be done.
Yes.
Sorry about that. 6 days shall work be done, but the seventh day is the Shabbat of rest, a set apart convocation. Ye shall do no work therein. It is the Shabbat of Yahuwah and all your dwellings.
All right, so we're going to tell you what we see. We're not telling you what you are to do because I'm not taking the responsibility just for what we see. Prove all things, hold fast that which is good. What we see here is that the command is all about work and rest. Let's go to another command. Of the Shabbat. Let me see. For another. Let me go to another. Exodus 16. No, Exodus 31:15.
"6 days may work be done, but in the seventh is the Shabbat of rest, set apart to Yahuwah. Whosoever doeth any work in the Shabbat day, he shall surely be put to death.
Verse 16.
Wherefore the children of Yasharal shall keep the Shabbat, to observe the Shabbat throughout their generations for a perpetual covenant."
All right. Let's look at the meaning of work. Who does any work? It is the Hebrew word melakah, from the same as H4397, properly deputyship, that is ministry. Generally, no, I should put it on the screen as people can see it. Generally employment. Let me put it on the screen so we can see it. What did I say again? What was the number again?
H4397.
H76. No, work. H4399. Whosoever doeth any work. So H4399. All right. So it is melakah. It means occupation, work, business, occupation, business, property, work, something done or made. This is a more general one. Workmanship, service, use, public business, political, religious. All right. Melakah, from the same as H4397, properly deputyship, that is ministry, generally employment, never servile or work, abstractly or concretely. Also property as a result of labor, business, cattle, industrious occupation, occupied officer, thing made, use, manner of work, workmanship. Now, this is skewed towards employment, but it also encompasses other things that you do that might be work. So the question is now speaking about using the tap or using the toilet. If we are to, for example, you have water that is prepared for you. Now, to drink the water, you have to lift it up to your mouth, right? To turn on the tap, you go like this. You use it, then you do that. Now, to drink a cup of this, it takes more work than to turn on and off a tap. To flush a toilet, you just press a knob once, bam. Now, that to me is more work than drinking a cup of water. Let's work, let's work. I do not think, good to have watched people here. I do not think, remember, prove all things. You must do what you think. I do not think the Most High wants the Shabbat to be a prison. He said the Sabbath in verse 58 to make the Shabbat a what? A delight. Made for men, not man for the Shabbat. So he made the Shabbat to be a delight. Let me go there in it's Isaiah 56. Yes. Yeah, and the Shabbat must not be a burden as well. Isaiah 50 Isaiah 58:13.
If thou turn away thy foot from the Shabbat, from doing thy pleasure on my set apart day, and call the Shabbat a delight, and the Kadesh of Yahuwah honorable, and shall honor him, not doing thine own ways, nor finding thine own pleasure, nor speaking thine own words.
All right. So we have work. We have not doing your own ways. We have not nor finding your own pleasure, nor speaking your own words. To flush a toilet, I don't see it encompassed in all of this. Yes? You don't want yourself to be on the Shabbat. You are like a robot, just like this, on the Shabbat. Yes? But that does not mean you go and profane it and use a liberty now and go overboard. But to flush toilet, no. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. So it's a feast, but you prepare for the feast from the day before. But what it execute the feast, you have to execute the feast on the day. Yes. Yeah. Yes. That's it. Any others? Next question.
Explain Matthew 21, verse 33 to 46. And what are the other tenants?
Matthew 21.
Sorry, who are the other tenants?
I will explain if I can. Matthew 21, verse 33 to 46.
Hear another parable. There was a certain householder which planted a vineyard, and hedged it round about, and digged a winepress in it, and built a tower, and let it out to husbandmen, and went into a far country. And when the time of the fruit drew near, he sent his servants to the husbandmen, that they might receive the fruits of it. And the husbandmen took his servants, and beat one, and killed another, and stoned another. Again, he sent other servants, more than the first, and they did unto them likewise. But last of all, he sent unto them his son, saying, They will reverence my son. But when the husbandmen saw the son, they said among themselves, This is the heir. Come, let us kill him, and let us seize on his inheritance.
Yeah.
This is in my face.
No, it's gonna poke. Go
This isn't going to puff.
ahead. Pop.
But last of all, he sent unto them his sons, saying, They will reverence my son. But when the husbandmen saw the son, they said among themselves, This is the heir. Come, let us kill him, and let us seize on his inheritance. And they caught him, and cast him out of the vineyard, and slew him. When the master therefore of the vineyard cometh, what will he do unto these husbandmen?
Huh? Switch though? Oh, sorry. Good. Thanks. Go ahead.
They say unto him, He will miserably destroy those wicked men, and will let out his vineyard unto other husbandmen, which shall render him the fruits in their seasons.
All right. So this verse should let you know what it's about. Verse 42.
Yahusha saith unto them, Did ye never read in the scriptures, the stone which the builders rejected, the same is become the head of the corner. This is Yahuwah's doing, and it is marvelous in our eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore say I unto you, the kingdom of Allure shall be taken from you, and given to a nation bringing forth the fruits thereof. And whosoever shall fall on this stone shall be broken, but on whomsoever it shall fall, it will grind him to powder.
Continue.
And when the chief priests and the Pharisees had heard these parables, they perceived that he spake of them. But when they sought to lay hands on him, they feared the multitude, because they took him for a prophet.
All right. So right there we have the answer. The chief priests and the Pharisees. Hamashiach was actually speaking about himself, and he knew what was to come, that they would kill him. But last of all, verse 37, he sent unto them his sons. And who is speaking to before? It is speaking about the prophets, because Yahushua Mashiach had declared, I think it's Matthew 23, that you always kill the prophets, and on you is laid the blood of the prophets. So they came and they killed the prophets from before. Now the Most High sent his son, and they came and they took his son as well to kill him. But the Hamashiach said, the stone which builders rejected, the same is become the head of the corner. So this prophecy in Isaiah 28, I think, was referring to Yahusha Hamashiach, the chief cornerstone. And the apostle Kepha spoke about it in 1 Peter 2, verse 6. No, verse 5. Start from 5.
Ye also, as lively stones, are built up a spiritual house, a set apart priesthood, to offer up spiritual sacrifices acceptable to Allure by Yahushua HaMashiach.
Mm-hmm.
Wherefore also it is contained in the scripture, Behold, I lay in Zion a chief cornerstone, elect, precious, and he that believeth on him shall not be confounded.
Mm-hmm.
Unto you, therefore, which believe, he is precious. But unto them which be disobedient, the stone which the builders disallowed, the same is made the head of the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And the stone of stumbling, and the rock of offense, even to them which stumble at the word, being disobedient, whereunto also they were appointed.
All right. So this is a stumbling stone, Yahusha Hamashiach. And that is why he said again in verse 44. Yeah. Matthew 21:44.
And whosoever shall fall on this stone shall be broken, but on whomsoever it shall fall, it will grind him to powder.
Oh boy. That is the stone of stumbling and the rock of offense, Yahusha HaMashiach. Only hope that explained it. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
I've never seen it in this light before, but in Isaiah 28:7,
Yeah.
where the original scripture is found, where it says a cornerstone in Zion, talking about Yahushua Mashiach.
Yeah.
In regards to the prophecy, it's talking to the children of Yasharel,
Mm-hmm.
the priests and the prophets who have erred. I think in verse 7, when it says they've erred through strong drink and wine and they prophesied lies.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, it's talking about the crown of Ephraim and the drunkards.
Mm-hmm.
So, that being said, could it have been that the people that were being sent were the prophets to warn our own people? You understand what I'm saying? So the first people that he sent, the first servants, were the prophets, but the people they were warning were our own people,
Yes.
with the Yasharel being the vineyard.
Yeah.
Because, and then I think it's later down in verse 43, he says, "Therefore I say unto you, the kingdom of Allure shall be taken from you,
Yes.
our people, and
Yes.
given to a nation, bringing
Mhm.
forth the fruits thereof."
Mm.
So because the cornerstone, Hamashiach, was finally sent,
Mm-hmm.
and the children of Yasharel rejected him and
Yeah.
chose their old ways, then it was now open to the rest of the world.
Yes. And this pardon?
Yeah.
Oh, power going off at 6. Yeah. Yeah, and all right. You have others? Go ahead. Go ahead.
I think these are very short. What is the biblical stance of celebrating birthdays?
Whoa, that you think that's short. That's not short. The biblical stance of celebrating birthdays. Huh? Ecclesiastes 7:1. Go ahead.
A good name is better than precious ointment, and the day of death than the day of one's birth.
The day of death than the day of one's birth. Now, the thing about birthdays is that if you go in the scriptures and you check out whenever birthdays are celebrated, then we see something tragic happen on birthdays. That's very, very significant. Let me go and look there. In Mark 6:21. Let's go to Matthew 14:6.
But when Herod's birthday was kept, the daughters of Herodias danced before them and pleased Herod. Whereupon he promised with an oath to give her whatsoever she would ask. And she, being before instructed of her mother, said, Give me here John Baptist's head in a charger. And the king was sorry, nevertheless, for the oath's sake, and them which sat with him at meat, he commanded it to be given her.
Continue.
And he sent and beheaded John in the prison.
All right, so that's a death on a birthday. Another day where birthday was kept. Genesis 40, verse 20.
And it came to pass the third day, which was Pharaoh's birthday, that he made a feast unto all his servants, and he lifted up the head of the chief butler and of the chief baker among his servants.
Death again on a birthday. Heathens. All right. It's 3. I'm already there. I was in 1. Job 3, verse 3-4.
Let the day perish wherein I was born, and the night in which it was said, There is a man-child conceived. Let that day be darkness. Let not Allure regard it from above, neither let the light shine upon it.
All right. So, verse 11.
Why died I not from the womb? Why did I not give up the ghost when I came out of the belly?
All right. But here is one that we want know. There's another one in the book of Job. Yeah, in verse 1, chapter 1. The one that says on his day. 1:13. Job 1 verse 13.
And there was a day when his sons and his daughters were eating and drinking wine.
No, that isn't it. Yeah. Should be somewhere up. Yes. Thank you very much. Job 1:4.
And his sons went and feasted in their houses, every one his day.
Everyone his day. That his day there is birthday. Continue.
And sent and called for their 3 sisters to eat and to drink with them.
Right. Everyone his day. So, yeah. Oh.
So in a life basically of servitude to the Most High, we're asked to give up everything in this world, deny ourselves, and even love not our own lives unto the dead. So for us to be sitting and celebrating consequently year by year, a day which we were born, which is a pagan thing, would be wrong in the sight of the Most High. Like Amakai just said, look at all the people that were celebrating it in the scriptures. It was the heathen.
Yes.
So clearly, I think the only time it was celebrated by our people was when the baby would first be born, and they will receive a name according to however they were born.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Oh yes, birthday is the biggest form of idolatry. And that's what is in the Satan's Bible. The Satanic Bible says it is the highest day. It's the day of one's birth. It's the day when one makes oneself an idol. And so there's no better day to celebrate than one's birthday. That is coming from the Satanic Bible. Go ahead.
Also in Matthew 16:24, it says to deny yourself. So if denying self is denying self, then apparently you don't have a birthday. You were just born.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
We recognize it, don't we? But we don't make a big celebration feast of it.
Yeah, you are such and such amount of years, and that's it. More, yeah. Sometimes if you know that if you and the world, let me tell you something. When you know that birthday is wrong, oh, the world loves birthday. They love it. They love it. They love it. They just want to hear say, "Today is your birthday, man." That's it. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. I don't celebrate birthday. No, happy birthday. Happy birthday. We don't care. Happy birthday. Everybody just wants.
And yet they refuse to keep the feasts of the Most High.
Yes.
He told us to keep.
Yeah. But Yazzie. No, yeah. Hold on. Yeah.
The same thing like in the scriptures, a lot of death happen on birthdays. People
Yes.
say they're going to parties, say they're going out celebrating birthday, and
Yes.
they die.
Yes. Yep. In this world, a lot of
Even
people die on
teenagers
their
going out
birthdays.
celebrating, driving fast, and boom. That's
Yep.
it.
Job 1:3, Job 1:4. Where does it say? Because here it states his day. So where does it state that his day means his birthday in Job 1:4?
All right. His day, you can just assume that it is his birthday. On his day, his birthday. Let me look at the parallel and see if not parallel. Compare. If anyone picked it up. Let me see if anyone of the translations picked it up. No. No, none of these translations picked it up. But the his day, the day is very wide. The his day, the meaning of day is yom that is used, and it is very, very wide. A day, warm hours, especially sunset, to that often used verbally. Age, always, chronicles, continually, daily, birth, each, to, day, birthday. So it also means birthday. Yeah?
Very easy one again.
Yeah.
Very easy one that we can just answer right away. Is chicken clean or unclean?
You call that easy.
Very easy.
All right. All right. All right, let's go to the Bible. Matthew 26:34.
Yahushua said unto him, Verily I say unto thee, that this night before the cock crow thou shalt deny me thrice.
All right, the cock crow. I don't know. The cock. How many how many birds they call are called cocks? And how many birds that are called cocks crow? That is a question. I don't know much about this bird thing, but how many birds are called cocks and how many birds that are called cocks crow? Because if this is speaking about a rooster, which I think it is, then it means that our people kept the rooster. Because this is in the scriptures in all four gospels. It's in Matthew 26:34. It's in Mark 14:68 when it says the cock crew. It is in Luke 22:34 when it said, and he